Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we will be discussing something very interesting, memes. So, what is the significance of math memes? And is it math normally considered as a subject to be boring? So, math memes basically are jokes about math that are used to convey messages about math in a humorous manner so that this makes math more enjoyable to learn for the masses, and it would make math also appear to be a less serious subject and much more appealing to the general audience. It is also generally easy to understand since math is a universally used language form of communication across the world. So I guess without further ado, let's get into the memes. For this first meme, I won't really get into it quite much, but if you don't understand, try reading it out, and you'll see that if you read it out, 32 TOO sounds like TWO, and the number 32 is indeed 16 plus 16. I think this should be a moment of realization. This next meme is about solving simultaneous equations in two variables in this case. So let's say you have two equations in x and y, and you want to solve for both variables. So when you want to solve for one variable, you often have to use methods like substitution of like one of the variables in terms of the other variable, or elimination of one variable so that you can solve for one of these variables. Let's just call it x in this case. But when you try to solve for the other variable, you simply just need to substitute this known value of x into one of your previously known equations, and you get your value of your other unknown, in this case y. And of course, finding the second variable y is more often than not easier because you are just simply substituting it back into the original equation and simply working out just using addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Next is a meme about geometry. A lot of the time when we solve geometry problems, the issue does not arise from trying to even solve the problem. It is more based off the time you try to figure out the question. This is since in a lot of geometry questions, you are just given a whole chunk of text with no diagram, and you're supposed to draw out the diagram to even try to visualize the shape, the diagram, and thus work out the proof or whatever needs to be required. So this is another meme about geometry. So the reason why we don't use 270 degrees as much is because it often doesn't appear in the problems for geometry or trigonometry, and in and normally the rules that we use for geometry often involve 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 360 degrees, but very rarely, if not ever, 270 degrees. This meme may be confusing for some who do not know what a Maclaurin or Taylor series is. So, Maclaurin and Taylor series are simply just summing out an infinite number of polynomials to get an approximation of a non-polynomial function. And it can be seen that by substituting a equals 0 into your Taylor series expansion on your left, you do get your Maclaurin series. And the Maclaurin series is a special case of the Taylor series where you approximate the function at x equals 0. Whereas for the Taylor series, you approximate the function at any x equals a that is defined on the function.
Hey guys, this is Shihong, and I'll be showing you a few more math memes. Me not trusting my calculator's order of operations. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this, because On different calculators, the order of operations may be a bit unpredictable. This one's pretty self-explanatory. The f is just gobbling up the gx. Teacher, what is 5 times 24? Student, 5. The strong feeling in great excitement here refers to the exclamation mark, which is used to denote factorial, and 5 factorial is indeed 5 times 24. The joke here is that he took the 10,000 out from under the root, so it became 100, which is the square root of 10,000. X-ray, Y-ray. This is a play on the x in X-ray and a reference to the x and y axes of a graph. 95% of people can't solve this. Even though this may look like one of those fruit questions that are in reality just simultaneous equations, this is actually not possible to solve. This is the Fermat's last theorem, which has been proven to have 0 solutions. Despite not looking like it at first, the pile of arrows at the bottom is just a convoluted way of writing not equals to. The V shape in the middle means or, so it's just saying strictly lesser or strictly greater, which just means not equals. Even though matrix multiplication normally doesn't work like that, it works for these numbers, so it's just showing the world as it is. Here, this is actually the geometric proof of the infinite geometric sum of 1/4 plus 1/16 and so on. Yet another fruit problem. Even though this one looks a lot simpler, it's also not easy to solve. It actually has solutions this time, but if you're gonna try and find them, I'd say good luck. Even if you use a computer to bash it, I don't think you'll be able to find the solutions. If you're interested in learning more about this, you can search an unusual cubic representation problem. Let's just say that the smallest solution are very large. On a separate note, this will be the last video from the MIG YouTube team 2024. Thank you for all the support we have garnered this year. And here's a parallelogram.